What's going on, everybody? I'm Court Johnson. Welcome to Pokin Holes pre-show. It is episode number 37, and this week we're going to Tufts. It's one of our college weeks where we're trying to go out and get more students involved. So naturally, we had to get a company that was founded by a student at Tufts. So we have Michael Kusnetsov here, founder of Scylla Plus, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about it. But first, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, what it's like going to school at Tufts, what the entrepreneurial community is like there.
Sure.
Yeah, give us the whole breakdown.
Sure. So I grew up in Chicago, came out to the East Coast in 2006 to attend Tufts. That makes me a second semester senior now, and it's been a blast. I've been very lucky. I've gotten to meet a lot of different people, gotten to live with a lot of different people, and part of that has worked out really well for me because it's let me sort of gear ScyllaPlus.com towards what I've seen other students do.
Sure.
The entrepreneurial community is great. My friends up there are great. All you guys know who you are.
So we got to thank Jason, because Jason's the one that's setting this whole thing up at Tufts. He's been so helpful in getting you on board. So.
The best club at Tufts by far. So much fun. We meet weekly and we just sort of shoot ideas back and forth. And sometimes they're crazy, sometimes they're really good. And we got a lot of kids that are starting stuff up and kids that should be starting stuff up soon.
Good. Hey, it's all about just making it happen. No talk, it's all about action. All right, so talk about the problem that you faced and then how Scylla Plus is that solution.
Sure. So a lot of students have this realization when they come to college that even though you are told that like if you're smart, you're going to get into a good school and you're going to do well, being smart isn't really what's going to make the difference for you academically. It's whether you're a hard worker, which is kind of obvious, but it's also whether or not you're organized. And there's always that kid in the front of the class who, as soon as the professor says something, whips out their planner and like flips through all the pages with all the post-its and writes something down in the right spot. And you're like, okay, that's cool. I wish I was that organized. I'm just gonna write it in my notes with everything else and like put a box around it. Maybe hope I have it. So what we're saying is there's a better way. And so at the beginning of the semester, instead of having 5 syllabi, being totally sort of confused and having to sit down and try and work on stuff, we're going to fix that for you.
So it's that you take all of the syllabi and you take the dates of when everything's due and what you're supposed to learn when, and then combine them into a one syllabus.
Right. Well, what's hard about getting organized is that planners come empty. That's the biggest failure with planners. How awesome would it be if you could go to Staples, buy a planner, open it to March, and it has your dentist appointment? That would be so sick. But students have an opportunity to do that because they know what they're going to have to do months in advance. So they know that they have a test March 14th. They know that they have a paper due May 9th or something. So we do that, and we give them a planner that's already pre-filled and a planner that fits in how they work in life, because students don't do stuff on pen and paper anymore. That's sort of, it's cliche at one point, but at the same time, you take notes on your laptop a lot of times. You get an email from the professor. You research your paper on your computer for sure. You write it on your computer. Sometimes you have to turn it in to something like turnitin.com or email it back to your professor.
Right.
So what does this planner that's empty, that's a piece of paper, have to do with your life? Nothing. And so we're sort of replacing that for you.
So you're making planners relevant again.
Exactly.
Or more relevant.
So we're making a tool, and we're doing it simple. We're not,
So how does it work? So I get all of the syllabi that I'm getting, and then how do I give that information to you?
Sure. So you go to ScyllaPlus.com, you register an account, and there's just an upload button. Usually you're going to get your syllabi through Blackboard or something, or maybe emailed. If you need to, you can scan it. Heck, if you want, you can mail it to me, and I'll scan it for you. You upload it. We send it to our processing team. They're pretty well trained, and they've seen a lot of syllabi, so they can flip through them pretty quickly. We put them in the database, and then when you log in the next day or in a day or two, you have everything right there. So it'll be like, this is what's overdue, this is what's due this week, here's a little calendar view. You can flip through and see, oh man, the second week of April is going to be terrible for me. And you just know, like, no parties that week, no video games, no basketball games. And then if you want, we can set up an email alert for you. So let's say you forget to mark something overdue. If you're the type of person that forgets to pass stuff in, and there are some out there, we say, hey, what's up? Why didn't you mark that as not overdue, as being done? And we'll say there's this task that's overdue, and you can hopefully, you just forgot to check it off, and you can go check it off. Or if you forgot to turn it in, you got to do that quick before
Cool.
you fail the class.
So, sorry, we've got Cam Twist isn't working, so I can't show you guys the screen. So you're going to have to go and check out ScyllaPlus.com on your own. But talk about the value proposition here. Why is it that what you're providing for the student, they care about it? Like, what is going to make them, what is going to make me, the student, use it and say, oh, Jake, you need to buy this, or you need to do this as well?
Right. So the value proposition is actually twofold, because we're not targeting individual students, we're targeting institutions. So the value proposition for the student is what I said earlier. We're giving you a relevant planner that's already filled in for you, that is on your computer, which is how you're used to working. The value proposition for the university is that universities have academic support centers. And academic support centers are full of staff that are very intelligent, very well-educated people that are trained in dealing with different learning problems or mistakes that you may be making, that can tutor you in advanced calculus and all that amazing stuff. And we're saying to the institution, those people don't need to be doing data entry. That doesn't make sense. So let us do the data entry. Let us get the kids organized so that those people can do something that's in line with their education, and so that that human capital that you have in that building isn't going to waste doing something that is beneath what they could be putting out.
Okay, so talk about the type of student that you think will start using this early on. Who are your early evangelists here?
Sure. So we are currently in our second semester of testing. And
where are you testing this?
Mostly Tufts, but a couple of different schools on the East Coast too. So the kids that probably won't like ScyllaPlus are the kids that are already obsessively organized. If you have a very detailed calendar with little post-it flags and everything, and you take that 3 hours at the beginning of every semester to do it, you're probably not going to need ScyllaPlus.
So you're going after the lazy student that isn't organized.
Yeah, it's not even, you're not even that lazy if you don't do it. I think most kids actually don't sit down and take that time because it takes a while.
Sure.
Especially if you're not on one of our processing teams and you're really used to seeing that every day. But if you're trying to do it in front of the TV, if you don't have a good tool into which to put it in, if you're like, should I do a paper planner or Google or something? I don't know.
So talk about how much does this cost for the student? What's your business model here?
So what we're planning is it's going to be free for the students for now, especially while we're testing.
And then how are you guys making money?
And then we're offering it to the universities to say, hey, let's let you use your human capital towards tutoring, towards educational stuff, and we'll do the data entry for you.
Cool. All right. So talk about any problems that you're facing right now, or goals that you want to attain here in the near future.
Sure. So we have some short-term goals, and that is to continue perfecting our product. It's hard to imagine exactly what a student expects out of a modern planner. So one thing that we didn't know going in was that a lot of people want to be able to whip it out on their iPhone in class and put in a task, or if the professor's like, the paper got moved to Tuesday, they don't want to have to come home, fire up their computer, do that.
Right.
So they just want to be able to do it. So
on the fly.
Right. So we've built that in. That's working right now, which is great. So you can edit your tasks. You can edit courses and stuff like that. You can add a new task. And
so who do you see as being your competition, like a Google Calendar or anything like to that respect?
Sure. No, competition is a great question. We have direct competitors that have, in some ways, even more advanced planner interfaces, but nobody that's doing the filling in the planner for you.
So who's your competition? Give us some names.
One of them has a really hard to remember name.
Okay, we'll post it on.
Yeah, we'll post it. It's something like Shoshiki.
Gotcha.
So my recommendation to my competition is find a new name. And there's a couple more that aren't springing to mind right now, but we can put them up and people can check them out and see that empty planners suck.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for coming out. We're going to be at Tufts again. I have do you know the room number off the top of your head?
I don't know the room number.
All right, I have it. I'll post it up online. So check out the blog. You'll find all the information. We want all of you guys who are in the city to come out to Tufts to support the entrepreneurial community and the student entrepreneurs. And all of you kids at Tufts, get down there. You're going to meet a ton of great people. You're going to hear a lot of cool stuff. So we hope to see you there, and we will see you on Thursday night.
Thanks, guys.